Good afternoon, friends. We are now starting a new chapter that is solved problems in irrigated agriculture. You see, these problems are very important because a lot of the land under this irrigation becoming infertile due to salinization, waterlogging problems, many other things. So let us see how the things are working. Before going to the irrigated agriculture, we try to see how the salts are originating from the soils. So these salts origination and the general its problem we can discuss now. Actually, the accumulation of excess salts in the root zone resulting in a partial or complete loss of soil productivity is a worldwide problem. It's not related to a particular country or a particular field, but throughout the world, the loss of productivity, either fully or partially, due to accumulation of due to accumulation of salts in the root zone. So this is a worldwide problem. These problems of soil salinity are most widespread in the arid and semi-arid regions. You can see normally whenever you're all thinking about salt problems, we feel that this is in very waterlogged areas, but it's not correct. This is the salt problems are mostly in arid and semi-arid regions, but salt affected soils also occur extensively in humid, subhumid and humid climates. So in subhumid and humid climates also the salt problem occurs, but due to different reasons. We will discuss all those things. Particularly in the coastal regions, these are some of the reasons where there is a seawater ingression, and then through the estuaries and then rivers and low-lying areas or through the groundwater. So there is a groundwater irrigation, large-scale salinization. So all these are contributing in the humid climates also. So soil salinity is also a serious problem in areas where groundwater of high salt content is used for irrigation. So normally groundwater contains high salts compared to surface water. So therefore, majority of the irrigation is done, more than 50% is now done in the worldwide under groundwater. So groundwater irrigation will normally lead to the salt problems in the soils. The most serious salinity problems are being faced in the irrigated arid and semi-arid regions. Already we said, even without irrigation also, arid and semi-arid regions, there is salt problems. But in addition to irrigation in the same regions, that is irrigation of lands in the arid and semi-arid regions will find much more problematic as far as the salts accumulation is concerned. So, in fact, these very regions need irrigation. See, why they are arid and semi-arid? The less rainfall, basically. But they need food. To produce food, irrigation is essential. So, therefore, this is a compounding. The problem is compounding in irrigated areas of arid and semi-arid regions. Failure to apply efficient principles of water management may result in wastage of water through seepage, overwatering, and inadequate drainage results in waterlogging and salinity problems, which reduce the soil productivity, eventually leading to loss of cultivable land. So, we are not quite happy by simply providing irrigation, but utilizing the facility is very much important. It's not simply you simply pour some water on the land. You have to pour only such water which is good, first of all. It should not contain any salts. Next, it should be poured only to the required. That is why we are advocating the micro irrigation in many of these irrigated areas. So, wastage of water through seepage, overwatering, and inadequate drainage. In fact, the drainage is a very important component which we have discussed. result in waterlogging, salinity, and ultimately, the much of the land is lost through salinization. So once the land is salinized, it is very difficult to reclaim. Though there are reclamation techniques we will discuss further, but once you go water, there was some historical evidences are there. For example, Indus Valley civilization, it was perished. One of the reason was due to salinization of the lands. Because of the salinization, there was no food was produced and people died. So this is a very serious problem. It's not simply enough if you provide water by irrigation, but you must carefully manage those irrigated lands so that saline lands should not become saline. This is the things. Okay, let us go further. Where this origin of the salts? It's not that irrigation is producing the salts, though it accentuate the problem, but irrigation is not producing the salts. What is that is originally salts are there on the soil. How? This is the thing. The main source of all salts in the soil is primary minerals. This is very important statement. In the exposed layer of the earth's crust. See, in the earth's crust, who is the mother of all these things? Soil, salts and everything. It's earth's crust. So, the main source of salts in the soil is the primary minerals in the exposed layer of the earth's crust. How they are produced? This is the thing. During the process of chemical weathering. During the process of chemical weathering. This is a very complex process. Weathering is a complex process, but it is a continuous and perpetual. Okay, so which involves so many things. Hydrolysis, see, hydration, solution, oxidation, carbonation. They're all again require much explanation, but simply when water in touch with these mineral matter, they gets detached and then accumulated. All these things are like that only in a simple words, accumulated. So basically whenever there is a water in touch with the mineral matter, so the soluble things will occur and then salts are accumulated. Another process, the salts constituents are gradually released and made soluble. The released salts are transported away. That is the thing. This is the process starts. So the weathering produces salts, and the salts which are produced at some place are simply transported away from the source of origin through surface or groundwater streams. It's both by surface water streams as well as groundwater streams. That is why low-lying areas will get these salts accumulated. It's not the uplands, but uplands produce salts. This is the thing. And let us see even how the things are moving. The salts in the groundwater stream are gradually concentrated as the water dissolved salts, as the water with dissolved salts moves from more humid to the less humid and relatively arid areas. See, in fact, see how this water moves. Whatever the solute moves from higher concentration to the lower concentration. So this water along with salt move from higher concentration to lower concentration. From where the water is having to the where the water is not having, along with the salt. So that's how even this arid regions also is occupied with salts. So therefore, as the water with dissolved solutes move from the more humid to the arid regions, the salts are concentrated, and the concentrators may become high enough to result in precipitation of salts of low solubility. So ultimately, either in the low-lying areas or in the uplying areas, it is a very complex process. Salts can be accumulated anywhere, but ultimately it is the water that carries. It is a weathering that produces, and the water that carries. There is a lot of mechanism which involves precipitation, which involves irrigation, which involves transportation of solutes to this water, and so on. Okay. Apart from precipitation, the chemical constituents of water may undergo further changes through process of exchange adsorption, differential mobility, and the net result of this process invariably is to increase the concentration in respect of chloride and sodium ions in the underground water and in the soils. Of course, we all discuss these things in the coming slides. Of course, the most important thing is, this ion exchange. Okay, we will discuss that, but it's a complex process. Okay, let us go further. This is, you can see, a typical saline soil in India. You can see the whitish patches are there. They are accumulated. You might have seen the advertisement with Amitabh Bachchan in the Bhuj. Most of these were formed with the salinity ingression, seawater. Anyway, even not only with along the sea, but even in the midlands also, this is possible. Accumulation of salts over the land. Okay, so let us go further. Origin of salts continued. Let us discuss more about how it is originating. You can see geologic materials are highly variable in their elemental composition, and some materials are higher in salts than others. Even when the formation of the Earth's crust itself, some minerals are accumulated at some place in a more concentrated way. That is how the mineralization of the very important minerals, you can see, and mined, not mineralization occurs throughout the Earth's crust. At some places they are accumulated. So same is the case with these salts also. For example, geologic materials are highly variable in their elemental composition, and some materials are higher in the salts than others. For example, shales, especially those of marine origin, can supply large quantities of soluble salts when traversed by water. So this water, suppose there is a mineralization or salts somewhere due to weathering or other mineralization, this drainage of water makes again moved to some other places and traversed by water. Okay, so salts released through weathering in the arid regions with limited rainfall are usually deposited at some depth in the soil profile. The depth depending on such factors as the water retention capacity of the soil, seasonal, annual and maximum rainfall, etc. If these salts are deposited beyond the rooting zone of most crops, say below 150 centimeters, they rarely affect the crops adversely unless they are redistributed and accumulated in the surface soil layers. See, basically, even with the arid regions also, when there is a weathering occurs and salts are accumulated, with the rainfall, these salts are simply drained to a certain depth below the soil. If they have gone to certain depths below the soil, say about 150 centimeters, there is no problem for the crop above which. So, but when they could not be drained to the below the soil zone, then there is a problem. So that is how this depth depends on many other factors: the soil, the rainfall, and the annual and seasonal, so many things. Salt affected soils generally occur in regions that receive salt from other areas, and water is the primary carrier. See, salt simply won't stay there in arid region or where it is accumulated. But already we have discussed the water is the primary carrier. Although the weathering of rocks and minerals is the source of all salts, rarely are the salts affected soils formed from the accumulation of salts in situ. In fact, salts are formed in arid regions, in upland regions, but they are simply drawn to the lowland regions. So lowland regions are simply affected by salts, not by in situ. It is drawn from the water and accumulated there. So also the irrigation also contributes to this. So I think we have enough understood about this origin of salts, and we'll continue further. We'll stop this video here, and then we'll continue our discussion further. Thank you very much.